Oh, I hope it's happening. Why, hello there, friends and neighbors. Your old pal and ex-jailbird, Stevie Coyle, logging in from Mighty Fine Guitars, or trying to. Let's see if it's actually happening. Oh, boy. Oh, looks like things are happening. Excellent. Well, kids, I got some, looks like sounds are happening.
Let's see if it's actually happening.
And lights are happening and too much volume is happening. All right. Well, let me get beautified. This is it. That's it right there. And let me adjust this light just a little bit. No, to heck with it. It's fine. Got some guitars to show you today. Oh, my. Even though the shop is technically closed and is actually closed, people keep bringing in fabulous guitars. And I'll start with the one that I can't play, but maybe you can. Oh, you know what? Let me wait just a second here and make sure I got some folks happening here. 3 folks are in. Hi there, whoever you 3 are. Please enter and sign in, please. Just like on Eric Apgar. Nice to see you. There's Rick Starbuck. Nancy Paul. That's right, Eric. The room where it happens. Oh, yeah. This is the room where it happens. All right. I think we're swinging. That light is a little bit harsh, but let me see if I can fix that just a little bit. Back in a flash, kids. Let's try something like that. Maybe that's a little better. Well, like I was saying, I'm back. Dry your tears. I want to start off today. I got 4 guitars to show you that have come in, and I tell you what, I don't even have to sit here. People email me and say, you know what, I got this guitar lying around that I'm not doing anything with. Somebody should be playing it. Will you move it along? I'll see what I can do. Check this out. Does it look backwards? Not to a left-hander. This is a left-handed Martin D45, co-designed and built for and played by Elliot Easton of the Cars. In fact, his name is inlaid up here above the nut, and I wish I could play it for you. Oh, Glenn. Where's my music partner, Glenn? He could play the daylights out of this, even backwards. He takes a right-handed guitar and just turns it upside down and plays the daylights out of it. But he can also play left-handed, and he can also play right-handed. It's all in the wiring, folks. Well, this is the D45. This is the flagship guitar from Martin. All the best woods, and there's even provenance that goes along with this guitar from Matt Umanoff, who brokered, I think, the connection between Elliot Easton and the Martin Company back in 1988 when this guitar was built. And he said he'd never seen, oh my God, I think he's right, Brazilian rosewood, quite that fantastic. Absolutely straight grain, heart of the tree, all the way around. Beautiful, beautiful. And the 45, now a lot of you know this, some of you might not, so I'll proceed for those that don't. The letters and the numbers in Martin, which have gotten completely Byzantine, excuse me, in recent years, started off with, at least, D for Dreadnought. The Dreadnought was the largest ship in the British Army. So Martin, in 1920 something or other, decided to call their big guitar the Dreadnought. That's the D. The numbers after the letters, either D or O, triple O, double O, 2, all that kind of stuff. The numbers that happen after the dash tell you what the woods are and what the ornamentation is like. 45 means everything. The best woods, ostensibly the best woods. Brazilian rosewood in this case. Certainly the 45 series has always had Brazilian rosewood back and sides. And premium spruce top of some sort. And all of this ornamentation, every surface is inlaid, is purfled with Abalonian pearl. A bound fingerboard, another hallmark of the D45. This down the headstock Martin logo instead of the Martin decal style logo at the top. Volute at the join of the neck and the headstock, a carved volute. It's just all the good stuff. And you know, one of the strangest things about holding this guitar this way is that there are no dots on this side. The dots, of course, are on that side. And this guitar, this very guitar, not this model, but this very guitar, was co-designed by Elliot Easton of the Cars, for those of you just joining us. And it's on sale here at Mighty Fine Guitars. There's a gentleman kind of interested in it already, but it hasn't been purchased. So, you know, if you're a lefty or know one that is, or are a collector and want something truly, truly unique, I know you can't say absolutely unique. If you want something unique, there's only one of them, and it's this one. And it's a D45L, L for Lefty. And it's got the Elliot Easton name inlaid beautifully right here above the nut. It's all the good stuff. 45 model is the upscale. The other letters in Martin nomenclature are, for the most part, there is a quadruple O that reemerged. This is going to get really twisty really quick. There's a quadruple O that reemerged at various times as the M model, M36 and M38. And then again as the Jorma Kaukonen model. Still a very big body, but not as deep, a tighter waist. So there's D at the top, that's the big boy. There's triple O, there's quadruple O, also known as the M. Then there's triple O, and triple O and OM are about the same size. Double O is about the size of a classical guitar. O is small, and anything below O, to be perfectly nerdy in Martin parlance, anything below the size O is a true parlor guitar. The size 1, 2, and 2.5 primarily. There are other Martin designations, but those are the primary, used to be the primary ones. Nowadays, somebody will say, well, I've got a Martin GT, XYZ, LMNOP, you know, and I have no idea what it is. I got to go look it up. But that was the basic thing several years ago when I started being interested in guitars. So there's a Martin right there. Let me see who's here. Welcome, everybody. Your old pal Stevie Coyle here, signing in after a month of being in Facebook jail. I won't even go into it. I will sometime, but not now. Back at Mighty Fine Guitars with the Friday Noontime Webcast that almost happened at noontime this time. So thumbs up to me. Hey there, Nate. Fabulous 7-string guitarist. He's going to be on my Monday night shows one of these Monday nights. Roger Bolt is watching. Hi, Trudy. Go Cowboys. Dan Payne, excellent. David Hilliard, fine guitarist. Great stuff. Look at this. My brother Jamie. Hi, brother Jamie. Did you check out the Martin? Did you see the Martin D45? Don't you wish we played left-handed? Wow. It's really something. Breaks my heart that in a sense that it's left-handed, but for left-handers, fair enough. They've only been able to play a fraction of all the guitars that are made out there, unless they go the Glenn Houston route and take a right-handed guitar, turn it over, and just play the Wailing Daylights out of it. So there. Hi, David Brown. Brookings, very good. Brookings, South Dakota? Really? Our signal, nobody's standing on the cord between here and there. That's great. Good. Andrew Freeman, hey man, heard about your hospital stay. Sending you all the best vibes in the world, man. One of these days, all that stuff is going to be behind you. So, good vibes to you. All right. Well, we got a few folks here. Thanks for coming back. I missed y'all. The old Friday Noontime Webcast has been a staple for the past, actually more than a year, I think. I think I was doing these even before. In fact, I know I was, even before the old damn panic set in. The other guitar I wanted to show you, and this is unusual because, forgive me, as many of you know, typically not a big Taylor fan. A lot of folks like Taylors. A lot of folks eat acorn squash. Your mileage may vary, is what I always say. But this is kind of a totally cool guitar. It's a 12-string, and I rarely get 12 strings in here. So when I get a chance to snag a good one, I snag it. Here is a Taylor 355 12-string, and totally cool. Big bear claw Sitka top, mahogany back and sides. It's a 12. It's a nice, easy play. I'll just give you a little sample because tuning these things up, that could eat up my whole hour right there. for a 12 string that works and is an easy play and has some bass to it, has some bottom end to it. A lot of 12 strings have that jingle, jangle, jingle, I'll come following you, of course, that is the characteristic sound of a 12 string, acoustic or electric. But getting some real bass response out of a 12 string can be the tricky part. Of course, we all covet the old Guilds and the old Gibsons sometimes, those big old 12 string Gibsons had some wonderful sounds in them. I played a few Yamaha 12 strings all those years ago that were really cool and had bass. Now, one of the tricks, in fact, where are we here? No, we're in standard tuning here. One of the tricks you can do, which I'm surprised more people don't know about, because it was kind of a thing when I had my 12 string. I had a Cleara 12 string that got stolen. Well, I was out on stage. Somebody offed with my 12 string from backstage at the Santa Clara University. Still a little pissed about that. The thing about 12 strings is you can tune them down and string them heavier. And that was a lot of those Leo Kaki recordings, the early ones you heard, where he was tuned down a step and a half to a C sharp on either side, or sometimes C, you know. You can tune them lower and string them heavier, and that's what gives them some boom. Because otherwise, these octave strings can really give you a lot of jingle, jangle, jingle, and can kind of dwarf anybody else. They don't play so well with others sometimes, unless they're way back from the microphone, or way back in the circle, or in the other room, you know. I made the mistake of turning on the heat when I came in here, because I needed to. Yeah, tell you what. Plenty of volume, tons of volume, a lot of punch too. The thing about a 12 string that I like a mahogany 12 string myself rather than a rosewood 12 string. They're ringy enough. They've got built-in reverberation just for the fact you've got strings doubled across an octave or two. But you add rosewood to that, and sometimes it just gets too washy for my ear. Acorn squash again. I like mahogany or maple for a 12 string myself, because it tends to give you more punch and directness, but you can still, tons of volume. Whew, I should say, I won't do that again. If you go down to Hammond, you'll never come back. It's fun. I remember my 12 from high school and college. It was really weird guitar. Dan Ide, are you on line here? Dan Ide sold it to my parents for $80 American. I remember that too. And it was made in Germany, and I've forgotten the name of the valley. Taya Gherkin, maybe if you're on, maybe you can tell me the name of the town or the valley where all of those guitars got made. There was a whole sort of zone there in Germany, apparently, where lots of guitars, electric and acoustic, and archtop got made. And this was the Cleara, K-L-I-R-A company. And it was enormous. The guitar was huge. The bridge was stapled down with big screws. It had big screws to hold the bridge down, which was not unusual at the time. And at the top here, instead of having a regular nut that would kind of kick back and would give you the angle you need to provide an effective end to the string, it had kind of that Fender type bar going across and a perfectly flat headstock parallel to the neck, but set down a fraction of an inch. And all of the strings would pass under this bar and then up to this enormous headstock that had full-size tuners. These are mini tuners. These are little ones, so they all fit kind of nicely on the thing and don't make the headstock so heavy that you've got to, lean to the right to play it. Taylor 12 string, $1,100. I must be crazy. It's Crazy Stevie's Guitar Emporium. But that's a screaming deal for a 12 string that works and is in fabulous shape. Low mileage, folks. Only driven by a little old lady to folk mass on Sundays. And that's the Taylor 355 from 99 or 2001. You know what? I should look at the website that I just refreshed. The website is pretty much up to date, and there's all kinds of cool stuff up there. If you just go to the inventory page, hit inventory and let it sit, because all of the guitars that are actually in the shop are floated to the top of the listing there. And all the guitars that I wanted to leave pretty pictures of but are not in the shop have asterisks after them in the inventory list. But if you just go to the all note, the all option, the all link on the inventory page, which it'll land on anyway if you hit inventory off the home page, you'll see all the new stuff, all the stuff that's in the shop right now. And there's tons. Every wall space, every carousel space. For those of you that have been in the shop, there's a carousel over here. Every carousel space. All of the stands. I had to buy some more stands because there's so many guitars in here. So help me out. Come buy one. They're fabulous. And even if you're not certain you want to buy something, there's nothing that just jumps out at you off of the website, hit me up for an appointment. We can meet out front here. The weather's getting nice, middle of the day. It's lovely. I can bring guitars out to you. You can play as many as you like. If you love one, buy it. If you don't, no harm, no foul. For those of you out of the area, for the cost of shipping both ways, if it's not true love, I'll ship you anything, and you can try it out and see if it's love. If it's love, I'll keep the money. If it's not, I'll refund the money. And all you pay is shipping both ways. That's the way it's done. Easy as pie. The other guitar I wanted to show you, two other guitars I wanted to show you. One is and I haven't even played this one yet. I just gave it a quick look, but boy, it's lovely. It's a Martin from 1953, and it's so light. That's the first thing I noticed, plucking it off the stand. You should pardon the expression. Is that it's so light. It's a 00, about the size of a classical guitar. This is several sizes down from the Dreadnought. The Dreadnought is the big boy. Then there's quadruple O. You don't see too many of those. You do see lots of triple O's and OMs, which are kind of the do-it-all guitar. Still lots of bass, but narrower body, tighter waist, so the whole thing sits lower and closer to you. The triple O, the double O, though, I have a special fondness for double O's. My Alpha guitar by Alan Perlman is a double O. Lovely. One and 11/16, narrow across the fingerboard up here. It's got kind of the Dreadnought size. There's variation in double O's in all Martin guitars. This one has a narrow fingerboard. This is 1 and 11/16. So if 1 3/4 is too big for it, it would seem like a 1/16 of an inch up at that end of the world wouldn't make a big difference. It does. You really feel the difference. And this one's had a recent neck reset, totally expert neck reset, and some braces shaved. So it is darn lively. car would like to break your heart. She's too damn old to even start. They should put her in the crusher, I suppose. You don't wanna get you one of those. It's all over for that old heap. She needs so much more than beauty sleep. Take it from one who knows. You don't wanna get you one of those. Leave her over there behind the barn where she'll be out of the way. You got chassis rot, a gearbox that's shot. She's had her day. It's all over for that old heap. She needs so much more than beauty sleep. They should put her in the crusher, I suppose. You don't want to get you one of those. You don't want to get you one of those. I should learn that one. That's a good song. Totally Martin-y Martin. Whatever that means, a Martin-y Martin. This one is one of those. Remember the first Martin I got from Rocco Tavani. Rocco, are you online here? My folks got from Rocco Tavani for not a lot of money back in 1976, 5, something like that. Not comparatively. You can get a cup of coffee at Starbucks now for that money. Had the same kind of feel, this, you know it's a Martin. You know, I would lay dollars to donuts that if somebody handed me this guitar and I was blindfolded, I'd say, oh yeah, it's a Martin for sure. There's something about the upper mid-range that's got this kind of, it's almost like that, you know, the difference between CDs and vinyl. Vinyl has distortion. That's what we like. There's some distortion. There's some fuzz in there, but it's very pleasant. It all stacks up evenly. All of those wavelengths stack up evenly. And we perceive that as pleasant. A lot of people say, oh, CDs are too harsh. I'm talking 30-year-old technology here, as if it's current. But that's kind of the difference, I think, between Martins and other non-Martin guitars, is it's got this kind of cool fuzz in the upper mid-range. And by fuzz, I mean something good. It's not distortion necessarily, but it's this kind of thickness. It's kind of a bloom and a blossom. Oh, I'm waxing poetic. Stop me before I wax again. And there's one more guitar I wanted to show you that came in that I'm not terribly familiar with this builder. It's John Mcquarrie, his name is. And he builds some guitars under the name Northwood. And he's out of Canada. But it doesn't mean he's not a nice person. And this is a lovely thing. He calls this mini jumbo. And the proportions are kind of jumbo-esque, a tight waist, really wide lower bout. But it's not the kind that makes you know, because the waist is nice and narrow, it sits low and comfy. Oh, and this one is tuned down, isn't it? This has got that rosewood kind of beef to it. Even just hitting this low string, I can feel it activating the high string. All those sympathetic vibrations, all of those frequencies are kind of reinforcing each other and causing kind of instant reverberation. Big, bright, clear sound. As you can tell, I haven't touched any of these guitars. This is like an unboxing video where it all happens right before your eyes, and mine too, right before your ears. Lovely. Lots of low end. very comfy neck. Kind of an open C profile, which I like. This one is strung nice and light too, so it's a nice easy play, which I like too. If I was ever in my hero phase in the 4 stages of mankind, I'm out of it. I no longer require heavy strings, medium gauge strings, or even that split set that I used with the bandos, with Menudo for many years. I was using a split set. The bluegrass set is what D'Addario calls it, where you've got medium gauge on the low strings and light gauge on the high strings. No longer. Light gauge boy. Yes. Low action, please. I may have told you about when the band was playing, we were playing in Maryland somewhere, Annapolis maybe, I think. And we were warming up for Tommy Emmanuel, of all things. A 5-piece band warming up for Tommy Emmanuel, and rightly so. And he saw me eyeballing his guitar backstage, and I was kind of going, man, it's one of those matins from Australia. He said, yeah, go ahead and play it. I couldn't play it. The strings were so light and so low, and he's got such touch. Just playing in my usual kind of beefy, overly muscular way, I was pulling the thing out of tune. I was sharping out everywhere. A lesson learned there. That's when the slide towards light gauge strings started. Now, if I was going to be strumming a whole bunch and I was going to be playing in an acoustic setting, or there was somebody in the band I wanted to drown out, I'd string it with mediums. Otherwise, I'd go with lights, even on a big guitar. I like most dreadnoughts strung up because I'm accustomed to that. My first good guitar was Stella and Clara. But my first really good guitar was a Martin, a D18. And strung with mediums, that thing just sang. It was just wonderful. I wonder where it is. You don't happen to have a Martin D18, do you? Yes, you. 232192 is the serial number. From 1967, as I recall. Late in 1967 is when it was made. And this is some lovely East Indian rosewood. Really lovely. Really straight grain. A beautiful, impeccable build. This John Mcquarrie is really something. I had a Northwood in the shop a few years ago, and it was lovely as well. And somebody got a hell of a deal on it, and this one is only in this shop. You can put the word only in front of $2,700. Not in a lot of shops, but in this shop, I'm afraid you have to do that. This one is only $2,700. Really impeccable build. A nice, kind of a tailory feeling neck. I hope that's okay to say, John. I guess maybe because it's satin finished. That's some of it. That for you next week or the week after. Singing in the bathtub. Singing in the bathtub. Singing all alone. Tearing out a tonsil just like a baritone. You can yodel opera. Etc. I'm ignoring your questions and comments altogether. I'm so sorry. Get a little carried away here. Pausing, really? I'm rocking here. Folks, are you, you have a 76 D35? George, how are you, man? Hey, there's George Alice. Nice to see you. Very good. Hey, Frank Vituski. Very good. Tell me, I see Frank coming in and out, back and forth. Do we not have a good signal here today? We got some pausing, Bob Thaden says. You're all having hiccups. Doggone it. Dag nabbit. Well, I'll wind it up for today then, and just remind you that what we've got on hand here, and then I'll send up the file, and you can come back and see what I actually said without the hiccups. Yeah, that's what I'll do. 4 guitars, a Northwood MJ, a 1953 Martin 0018, a Taylor 355 12-string, and a Martin D45L. So, tell you what, I'm going to send this video back up, and then you'll be able to see the whole thing, I think. So, thanks for tuning in, kids. Let me put this back. I'll say bye-bye for now, and hope for a better signal some other time. So long, y'all.